Nigerian lecturers will tell you that A is for God,
A for God. Like,
B is for them. Then the remaining class can fight for C.
This is on classes.
Hello guys, welcome to another amazing episode of the Gist on Glasses podcast. We're back here. It's been a great time coming and I'm so excited to be here again and to do this with you guys. What's up, man? How you guys doing?
you say we're doing all right.
Yeah, man, like Melky. What's up? What's
Happy
up, bro?
as ever, man. So good to be around.
That's right. And of course,
See, a lot has changed.
yeah, man. A lot of things. Shout out to our amazing sponsors, the Olive Place. It's a great place, man. What do you guys think?
Soft.
Nice. Gosh, what's happening, man?
It's about time we did this again, man.
Cashman.
Yeah. I'm so happy, man. I'm loving the vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So today, straight up, we're gonna go straight up. No time to waste. We're gonna be talking about academic blackmail and extortion. Like, it's a big one. It's a crazy one, man.
For real.
Like Nigerian lecturers, man. Kudos to you. Kudos to you guys.
That one is just part of the system.
You know. Okay, you guys are like fresh out of uni.
Yeah.
And okay, so like,
Yes.
give us. Have you heard of like? Do you have life experiences, stories? Have you heard of people who lecturers
Like,
have
You can,
done
write,
this?
you can write a book on that, man. It's academic volumes, chapter 1, chapter 2. So it's like, yeah, when it comes to this academic blackmail, man, you can write chapters about this thing, like 1, 2, as far as the list goes. Thinking about it, like it can take form of a transaction, exploitation, forceful arrangement. Like so many things are involved when you talk about academic blackmail. So it's like just pick your poison, actually.
Like, this blackmail word, right? It's like, blackmail is literally extortion, coercion. You get, like,
Facts.
by someone definitely on a higher level, you get, and he's trying to get something out of you on the lower end, you get. And Nigeria, I think it's just part of our culture. Like, even you moving on the road, they could just see you next thing, offer how much you get for there. You get, like, it's something that we're used to. Then in that environment where you feel like it's civil, like these are like learned people, do you get? And you're now seeing that you can take somebody out of the village, right? Well, you can't take that village out of him, do you get? So if you think about it, then it will pain you, especially girls.
I think they are the receiving end of,
They are more at the receiving
They are more at
end
the
when it
receiving
comes to extortion.
Or more.
exactly by in educational systems.
Yes.
In schools and all of that. Because this story about this song by Idris Abdul Karim, a very, very old song, Mr.
Okay.
Lecturer. I think I was in JS1 when that song came out.
Or more.
That was like
You used to have this song
2000.
too.
I don't know.
I think it was
Because when Mix was in JS1 was probably like in nursery.
What the fuck? Am I that old? Like, wait, you don't know Mr. Lecturer?
The only Idris Abdul
Wait,
Karim song I know na Jaga.
Okay.
When I go kill me
That song.
with youngins
Okay,
for this one.
But that song came out in what year? Just be specific.
Mr. Lecturer.
Yeah.
Mr. Lecturer was in 2000 and either 2003 or 4.
Yeah. I was.
Around 2003 or 4. I'm not sure, Sha. I think 2005.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I like. Sorry, I think we may be deviating. But Idris was someone that was talking about like a lot of stuff, and I think
Yeah.
I'll give him his flowers for that.
Yeah, it was like a real situation. Okay, this recent podcast he did with
Maybe.
Honest Bunch.
Yeah.
He was talking about the story how he came about that song, and they had a show in Unilag. And then at the end of the show, like I think it was before the show or at the end of the show, I can't really remember. They were like going out, was it to have lunch? And he saw a girl crying. And he walked up to her. Something just propelled him to like, okay, let me talk to this girl. And he spoke to her. I was like, what's up? Why are you crying? And she was like, no, don't worry. He was like, oh, no, talk to me. What is the problem? She was like, you won't understand. I'm like, what is it now? So he was able to like get her to talk, and she was like,
Talk to me, I'm Idris, man.
she was like, oh, there's this lecturer, he's threatening that if he doesn't sleep with her, she's not going to pass, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, so this is what we are going to do. Call the lecturer and tell him that you've agreed to his terms, you know? And she got the hotel. And what they did was that they got to the hotel, Idris and his guys, I think they got to the hotel before the lecturer. He told her the room and all of that. So they went there. When he was in the hotel with the girl, all of a sudden, like, guys just
fall out.
They came in, they were recording, they came in with cameras, they were recording the man, and he was, no, he was like, trying to cover his face and all of that. And that was how that girl was, like,
Saved.
that was how she was saved from that whole harassment. But then I'm like, why do you have to put yourself in that shoe? Like, why do you have to put yourself through that?
stress.
For me, I feel it's wicked for people to want to intentionally.
Oppress.
There was a celebrated case like some years back, I think 2019, 2020. One lady that actually did something like a documentary. I think that was in the West. I don't even remember. Yeah.
Where
And it garnered a lot of attention. You see that a lot of people could actually relate. And this is something that was going on, but nobody was really talking about you
it.
get. And the other time, I think I saw when people spoke about like commercial sex workers and all of that.
Yeah. A few episodes back.
Yeah. So I remember when I was watching, I was just thinking that as human beings, right? Sex is something that we love, you get, as human beings. It's part of human nature.
Yeah.
we need it.
It's part of animalistic nature, you get.
Yeah.
So it is only something that you can use as a tool. And some people just feel like, it's not just the sex, you get. But there's even so many things that we don't even see.
Yeah.
So you wonder why someone in that level is using something as basic as sex. Do you get?
You know, for me, it's not about the sex. It's just the power play of the mind.
Exactly.
When people when people are in the place of authority, they're in the place of power. They want to. Nigerians, let me
Want
just
to
say
dominate.
This is it.
Dominate
Human beings have
everything.
this thing. Once you put somebody in a place of power, place of authority, he wants to exercise every possible.
It reveals parts of you don't even know.
Do you understand?
That
You see
should- that shows
somebody
that they're
who
not
you know
used to
that this guy is a regular guy,
Regular
going
chill guy.
person. All of a sudden, the guy is like, no, like the person is trying to like insist on proving to you that I have this authority, I have this power, and for me that's the small-mindedness of people. Like when I see people behave in that light, I know that this guy is a small person, because the only way you feel strong is by
When
putting other people down, or
that is
by putting your feet.
very
Like,
wrong.
Yeah. That's the only way you feel powerful.
that's the only way some people
That's
feel powerful.
an offshoot of low self-esteem.
Yes, it is
Wallahi.
actually, because people who actually have real power is, for me, I not even subtle. Someone said power is actually how did they put it?
It's like influence.
No, not influence. Power is absolute authority under control. Like when I understand that you're a powerful person is when you have all of this power, but it is under control. Like you control
I should take
the way you
notes, man.
That's what it's like.
you control the way you exert this power especially on other people. Like you're not in a rush to like prove a point.
Prove a point.
People who
Show
don't have
something.
power are the ones who actually want to prove a point. But you have real power. You don't want to prove a point. Like it's there. It's just there. You know?
Like that's why somebody will just be driving, just like the least siren, just next thing, there's no need for siren.
There's no need.
You're already blaring. I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's so annoying and so irritating
God
because
forgive me, they know if you find me. But these NDA boys, especially like those fresh ones, they could just stand for road, just the
bully.
Like it's still
Doesn't make sense.
It's still like from the same place of you're in this position and you want
So
to just
it's
exert.
inferior mindset in a powerful position.
It's not understanding. I think in a way we are digressing from the conversation. You know, so like I like us to like go back. Like, have you heard of are there stories, instances, for instance, in UJ now, let's say UJ for an example, are there stories of lecturers trying to blackmail or molest students, asking for sex or grade?
I feel it's not even just a UJ thing.
No, I'm just trying to say, like,
Yeah, like
using UJ as
I feel like it is in a lot of institutions. You get,
it is in every institution.
It's in a lot of institutions. So I won't be quoted that UJ. Do you get? But I've heard of, I know someone, a particular girl that this particular girl was moving bookie. Like they were pretty. She's bright. Do you get? But and she's hot. Do you get? But he was trying to like make advances. Do you get? And she saw all of this coming. This were glaring. Do you get?
Yeah.
And he was boxing her into a certain corner, and she was trying to avoid it by all means. She kept on trying, but the man was more or less steps ahead. Do you get? So at some point it was too disturbing. So she had to call out for help. Luckily for her, she's from like a good background. You get? So she had people. So by the time she called out for help, you know, see levels they this thing now. You get?
Up.
Exactly. But I was now thinking, what if this girl was just
herself
from
a regular person?
Yes, a nobody. Sorry to say, not like a nobody. But
Yeah.
not like a high profile family or something. Like, what would someone in that situation have done?
Of course, like what usually happens in Nigeria every day, like the strong and mighty have their way, and the people who are less powerful, you know, they are the not debate, but now they are eating. Like they take them. It's like dog eats dog world. So
Wallahi,
if you are not connected, you are not highly placed,
then you'll
there's
be taken
nothing
advantage of.
Yeah, they'll take advantage of you and go scot free.
I have like, I know like two stories.
Yeah.
One was in UJ, one was not in UJ. Okay, the first one in UJ was that I think the lecturer tried to kiss her. Something and
straight up kiss going.
Like that's where it got that she was like, this is, I can't do this anymore. So she had to change university.
Crazy.
So she went to a private university.
Crazy.
Then the second one was someone that I knew close, someone like a family member. She was in her final year, and then she was supposed to do because she studied, supposed to do like a traditional drama acting role. So the lecturer that was overseeing it, you know, was always complimenting her. It's like, okay, this getting close to her, stays extra long, like when she's the one performing. So he eventually invited her to a hotel room after the show. She refused to come. So she didn't come the first night. He warned her. So he invited her again second time. She refused to come. She had to carry over in the course. So she had to stay an extra year in university. So like, I think she was like, even though she got held back 1 year, her victory was that she didn't give herself to this man so easily or so demandingly from that experience. Yeah. So it's like, you see, you now begin to wonder what gives people the confidence to actually give these demands to these young ladies or to these women. Like I said, it's a power play. Sometimes not necessarily that they have feelings for the girl, but they just notice that, you know, there's a way that a woman can be beautiful that it now makes her influential.
How now?
Yeah, like
but you.
If you look at it, when you're in secondary school or in uni, if finance girl doesn't have to do too much to get her name far and wide.
Yeah.
That makes her influential because now everywhere she's going, everybody she's seeing with is now taking or getting off of her beauty. So that kind of makes her influential in that society or in that spectrum. And notice that some lecturers begin to notice, they see how the girl is moving, how people are willing to give her leeway, willing to give her advantages. So sometimes the lecturer is like, who is this girl? What's she feeling like? How can she come and be making such statements, making such advances? You know, I'm going to show this girl, like I'm going to
put her in her place.
Like it's like I'm not going to fall for it. So it now begins to be that oppressive nature, like you said, that power play where it's like he just wants to dominate to prove that I'm bigger than all of that. I don't fall for this.
You know, a lot of men they express they express how that I think there's a word for it. Let me just I can't remember the exact word, but they express what
Yeah.
I call negative masculinity.
Mm.
You know, they assume that every woman should should uh, should be able to obey them in a way.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, okay, this generally, like a lot of men are like that, a lot of weak men, because I don't consider them to be men. Like, why would you want to have your way with everybody? You as the man, say, why would you want to be with everybody? Do you understand? That's a problem to start with. You know, yesterday I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and then just to digress a bit, she was telling me about one of her her cousins that got raped. Like someone very and the person that actually raped her, the perpetrator was actually more like a family
Family friend.
family no not family friends. He was her uncle actually.
Why?
Wow.
This
Do you
guy,
understand? Like there's a relationship somewhere. I was so pissed. And then when we spoke about it at length, we were talking about it, and she was like, that where she was staying before in Bukuru, like their former area. That's because of okay, you know, she placed herself in at this level, and then some of the guys around the area were like, why is she feeling this way? What is making her feel this way? Like who the hell does she think she is? Blah blah blah, all of those things. And then the guys were sending threats to her that they're going to rape her. And I'm like, so that's your way of proving that you
Yeah,
are
bigger than.
like, do you understand? That's so it's just so dumb and stupid. You know, now bringing it back to lecturers. I feel it's not just women, not just the ladies that experience or go through this form of harassment. Even the guys, you know, it's just that it's not
It's not well heard
outspoken
of.
yeah,
like
very
that,
well,
you know, but
very well.
I feel like the guys go through a lot of either sexual harassment or bullying or lecturers demanding for money because if the lecturers cannot sleep with a guy, they'll say, okay, pay me.
There's an institution I know of, right? There was this guy, he was close friends. I'm not sure the nature of their relationship, right? Him and the lady.
Mm,
And this lecturer wanted this girl, you get, by all means.
mm.
Do you know he wanted this guy that was close to the girl?
The girl.
Like he was always on his neck. And it was crazy. It was too bad because, and I don't think the guy got the cue that it's because he was close with the girl that this man was actually taking on him this way. Like I've been in a situation whereby someone asked, is there someone that is your friend that you think your lecturer is seeing? And I'm like, no. I really don't even know.
Mm.
Do you get? It's very irritating place to be, man. Very irritating.
Like, you know, sometimes it's like some of these lecturers are just busy waiting. Sometimes it's not even the guy can be, it depends. Doesn't really even depend on the girl's grades, it's just lecturer's interest in the girl. Because the guy can better get intelligent, gets failing the course. If the lecturer's lost is really at that high level, he's going to find a way to penetrate this girl. Tell her, you're not going to pass my course this semester. What are you going to do about it? Do you want to spend an extra year? And of course, the answer is no, sir. What can I do? It's like, I already do what you know, it now begins to play into his corner or his level of interest. Like, you know what you have to do? This is it, this is that. And you hear so many stories. There's so many stories, like even if it's in newspapers, whether it's from word of mouth, whether it's from so many, even like this song now, Mr. Lecturer, or what Idris Abdul Karim was able to do in the hotel room. You just realize that when having that level of power is on the hands of, let's say, an inferior masculine man can always lead to such results.
Yeah.
You were saying something around having to make payments. You get like this one we're talking. This one is more like body payments in quotes. There's a story that your guy Clinton, right,
Yeah.
was saying one time. One time, I think when he was in uni, and he was saying that there's this lecturer that he makes you like walk through a certain place, and he takes notes of your outfit.
Mm.
Take notes of your outfit, and all of you write your names on a certain list, right? Then if he notices like something like flashy, let's say you wear a designer shoe
Yeah.
or you have a designer on, or even your perfume, even your perfume. And if he notices it, he'll just say, please, what's your name again? He'll mark your name. Afterwards, his boys, in quotes, will reach out to you and give you T and C's. Do you get?
Yeah.
What kind of base mentality is that? This is a law lecturer, a learned fellow. Do you get?
Yeah.
And you know saying Leonard, but I no Leonard anything. You know, like, you said something about, like, I think it was Kashim that was saying about a girl that was moved from a
Certain
federal
school.
university to
The
private,
private university.
Like, there are stories of this same harassment in private university.
Exactly.
I think was it like last year? I can't remember the name of one of the. I think it was one famous private universities in Nigeria, and then they had similar issues
Issue.
about this same. And then I think most of the ladies in the school, they were complaining that they've reported this particular lecturer over and over and over and over again, you know, and
But
then nothing has been done.
keep
And this is supposed to be a supposedly like Christian university.
Institution.
Do you understand?
yeah.
Supposedly, so like it actually has no barriers, like whether it's a private university or a public university, sexual harassment, bullying, all of these things. It is gradually becoming a menace that is trying to be forced to become a part of our culture, which it is not.
It's not meant to be part of.
Yes, it's not.
You know, sometimes it's like these universities even cover up for some of these lecturers because they don't want to tarnish the name
Their
of
image.
the
do
image.
you
So it's
get?
like when the thing comes out, it's like, hi, they just find a way to, like, maybe they
Squash
can
it.
squash it. Maybe they'll just give the lecturer like a small penalty if there's even a penalty at all. Because it's like, let's say you're a lecturer now, you've known your peer for like 25 years. Come and bring this case that your peer was trying to sleep with the girl. Like, bro, no, this thing will cause, like, even as guys, there's a way you can cover for your guy. But then the truth is that if that person is actually like putting out that behavior, is in tune with this behavior, is used to this behavior, like, and he's now a menace to society, he's no more your guy again.
Yeah.
Because if you're hiding a thief, what does that say about you? If
Aiding
you're,
and
if
abetting.
You're
you're
a thief now, aiding and abetting.
yes, so it's like, are you really going to be a kind of person now that would cover for a serial abuser? Because that means that guy is just waiting for. So now, let's say, had he been now, if like this friend you're covering for now, let's say, worst case now, your daughter ends up in his course one day, but doesn't know it's your daughter. He takes an interest in your daughter, he harasses your daughter, he exploits her. Are you going to be that same guy that will take the patient's cover up? If you know you can't do that, then you should know that out there is somebody now, a father that cannot take the same thing
Exactly.
from it. So like, even
Exactly.
if your guys, your so-called guy now, as also a lecturer, is into this act, there's time like that come around, you're like, yo, you have to do this to protect future generations of people that are going to
Very
pass through this guy.
Very well.
Because you don't know what level of trauma this can lead to. Some people don't handle trauma very well. Now,
Imagine this girl having to like change schools, man.
changing schools, some people now commit suicide, some people go into depression, some people just become, there's so many outcomes that people follow when they get to that level.
Or imagine they tell now, make una sort, make una bring something, make you
Yeah.
get your. If you bring, let's say 50K, you go get your B, and you no get 50K.
Nigerian
That mostly happens to guys.
lecturers will tell you that A is for God,
A for God, like
B is for them. Then the remaining class can fight for C.
So it's like, what kind of system is that?
It's fucked up,
How
man.
is that really encouraging you to even shoot? Because if you know that A is already off limits, so
You
that
know-
means even if you are the
No matter
best
how
top
hard you
tier,
try.
you're not going to get the A.
It's like when you look at the contrast, yeah, you see lecturers or professors.
Mhm.
When they talk about professor, at the top of your mind, growing up, when you hear the word professor, what comes to your mind is an old man
Yeah,
that is in his 70s,
Most
70s,
smart,
50s, 60s.
which kind 50s? For Nigeria, professor 50. 70s, 60s. In fact, most times 80s. That's
now the image.
the image of a professor that you have is an old person.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get that
And
part.
all my life, I grew up assuming that is that you must get to that age
To be a
to
professor.
be a professor. But then we get to see that outside, it is only in African setting that a professor is old.
See,
Yeah.
For Crazy Rich Asians, that rich you're true. So
Yeah.
like 26.
Do you
So the
understand?
professor in economics, you can.
Yeah. So in my mind, like I was like, it was later when I started to like to watch movies and like become more exposed, and I now realized that
Professors are younger than that.
Professors you can be like 30 and you're a professor. You can be like 40. But in Nigeria, they intentionally frustrate you. Like the older professors, they intentionally frustrate the younger lecturers who are trying to like go and get their masters, PhDs to study and get to that point. They frustrate you. You cannot get in. And then the ones who have actually experienced this bullying, when they now finally get to that point, they're like, oh, the same thing that was done to me, the same thing I'm
The
going
vicious cycle.
so the vicious cycle of the loop begins to it doesn't end. Like it continues, it doesn't end. Do you understand? Like it's like a Bermuda Triangle that keeps swallowing up people and it doesn't end.
So, like, what are the solutions we can? What do you think is the right way to even handle this?
People
like,
just
take it
have
out
to be
society?
I was going to
For
ask,
me.
right? When you were saying your story, I was like, who are these people complaining to? Like now we know like there's public complaints commission the federal government has, right? So now like for sex offenders, for people that blackmail people, whether abuse, like monetary abuse or sexually abusing or a lot of verbal abuse goes on. Who can you report to that? It's like a lawyer that you know he's going to act on it.
Yeah.
And there's no sentiments, like how you're saying, my guy, I cannot snitch on my guy. You get like,
Yeah.
are there institutions like that?
Actually, are there places, safe spaces people
In your
can
school,
run
what
to?
do you think they have something like that in? Like let's say for in UJ now, for example.
Oh, I don't know of it too.
Like when I
I
was in
swear,
school, we
I don't know
had
of it.
student development center. So
Hmm.
that was where students that had academic issues, social issues, commitment issues, like basically any social issues that students had, they could go there.
But was you working?
It was working. I worked there for a while actually, before my final year before I left. So I saw how effective they were in handling several issues. It was mostly academic, but then apart from other things, they can still handle. They were still ready to handle other cases, and they were like a separate body of power in the school. So they had the ability to even administer punishments, even recommend things. So like
Interesting.
if such a system was set up, most of the people that are working there now, okay, I think some of them were like religiously involved, but then those people that study psychology, people that study, so like people that actually understand the mentality or like the
human
mental
beings.
mind, like the just understand your mindset, what you're going through, the pressure that is pushing on you now to get you, okay, you acted this way because this is acting on you, so now this is a solution. Rather than just saying, oh, this is what happened. Like just there's a way that when you have a case, you have an issue, you want people to handle it seriously. People want people to handle it intimately. Sometimes you don't always get that. Like you could tell somebody something. Like now, during the NSAS protest times, I think the time a girl got abused, and then she took it to the police station. The woman was like, "I should not enjoy it." Like, is that how you want to be taken? That's not how you want your case to be taken. That's not how you want your case to be taken.
Jesus.
So you want your case to be taken like, oh,
You know
like,
the police stopped that thing.
yes, and it's the police that said she was a female officer.
Police is your friend.
So
A
like,
female police.
yes, she asked the guy, "I sure you don't enjoy it."
Police is your friend.
So you can imagine. So there was lack of empathy in that discussion now. So it's like we need bodies now in universities that are safe spaces, have empathy.
I think NGOs too can like
NGOs can help
play
you.
a very good
Yes.
role in making this happen, because these schools, a lot of public schools, there's a lot of power play, but I feel like a separate body, like the way you said, these people could recommend
Yeah.
like certain acts, even to like I'm sure staff and all of that.
Yeah.
So because if it's the same people in the system,
Are you sure it's not a cartel? They all know themselves, so they'll cover for themselves.
that one's
They
So it's
create-
possible like lecturers cover for lecturers. So it's like you have to have like an independent body that's ready to like, hey, if now, even if we're coming for ourselves, now there's a body ready to hunt us down if we act differently, if we act out of hand. You know that you're not at the mercy of these people when they come for you. You're going to really, really yourself in. A lot of these things now is just greed and lust mixed up in the minds of these people that are oppressing these people.
some people actually see it as an easy way
Meanwhile,
out. Do you get?
yeah,
Yeah, no, let's not digress from that point. I think there are female students who go to school, and that is their
that's how they do
age,
their
that's their MO, that's their plan, that's their intention of graduating, because they know that
They can't
going by the
normally.
academics.
No
They will not
go, no go.
Yes, you know. So it's actually a
So that's why it
scratch my
becomes
back and
transactional.
scratch your back scenario for
Yeah.
them. But then it's not applicable to everybody because
Yeah.
there's a lot more people who want to actually like
Work for
work for it and like leave school with good grades and all of that. But then these lecturers will keep frustrating their efforts and keep putting them down.
So there's transactional, there's your oppressive, then there's there's different ways to look at it. But then I think we're focusing on the oppressive side now. You
Yeah.
forcing someone, you must sleep with me to pass this.
where you must pay this money.
You must pay this money to pass this
Pass
course.
this.
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
There's the one that lecturers will really tell you that for this course in this department you have to buy they'll force you to buy unnecessary material. Like
Yeah.
they'll tell you that like only buying this material, like only buying this note or something, it's going to be like 20 marks.
20
or 10
marks, exactly.
And they inflate the
Plaster money
prices.
on top.
Do you understand? And you are seeing your 20. If you don't buy it, just imagine what 20 marks is going to do to your CA and all of that. So it's mad, man.
So it's crazy.
It's country now, jungle.
Well, I feel like we've actually like tried to like
Yeah.
talk about this like
We said what we felt.
in a short while. So guys, it was a great one. It was a good one. And of course, before we leave, I want to say a big shout out again to the Olive Place for hosting us, for supporting us and giving us this amazing place, amazing like sponsorship deal and all of that. You want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say, right? I don't think it's a bad idea that if you can relate like personally with like this story and all of that,
Okay.
and you want to like lend the voice to this, I think you can email us, you can reach out to us on our
Yeah.
socials,
We
right?
really appreciate that.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
we can actually not fight the system, but can actually make conscious efforts instead of talking, right? To
Yeah.
correct,
Yeah,
to correct
yeah,
our
yeah.
Establish a
mistakes.
new culture.
Good one.
Yes,
Good one.
exactly.
Good one. Thank you for that one, man. Okay, so it's gonna be a wrap. See you guys at the next episode.
Our socials.
Peace out. Follow us on all social media platforms, like, comment, blah blah blah, all those things.
We love
Let's go. We love you. Take
Take
care.
care.
Yes, man. Appreciate it.